We found a hidden tunnel in the abandoned hotel. And something was waiting. Posted by user Urban Shadows YouTube. We've been urban exploring for years, but last night took everything we thought we knew about abandoned places and threw it out the window. Me and 3 friends broke into the Grand Riviera Hotel, a luxury resort that had been abandoned for decades. The usual stuff: graffiti, broken chandeliers, rotting carpet, the smell of mold so strong it made your eyes water. We were filming for a YouTube video, walking through the lobbies, old ballrooms, and guest suites. Nothing out of the ordinary at first. Then we found a stairwell that led to the basement. At first, it was just storage rooms, broken boilers, and empty crates. But then we noticed a door we hadn't seen on the building's blueprints. No markings. Nothing on any map or guide. It was just a solid steel door set into a brick wall, slightly ajar. Curiosity got the better of us, and we pushed it open. Inside was a tunnel. Not pipes, not service corridors. A proper tunnel, wide enough to walk through comfortably. The walls were covered with patterned wallpaper, and the floor had polished wood. The smell of furniture polish hit us instantly. We joked that it was some kind of secret luxury bunker. But the deeper we went, the more unsettling it became. Every twist and turn of the tunnel looked recently cleaned. The furniture, old armchairs and side tables, gleamed as though someone had dusted them yesterday. Then we saw it. At the end of the tunnel, under a single flickering light, stood a man in a bellhop uniform. Impeccable. No dust, no fraying, no age. He just stood there, perfectly still, hands clasped in front, staring at us. We froze. He didn't move. Didn't blink. Just waited. One of my friends whispered, "Maybe it's security." But there's no way. The hotel's been abandoned for decades. Then he tilted his head slightly. The tunnel seemed to stretch. The wallpaper patterns shifted subtly. And the smell, it was no longer just polish. It was something sharp, metallic, and cold. We backed up slowly. The bellhop didn't move, but the light above him started flickering faster. A soft humming filled the tunnel, like dozens of voices just below hearing range. I shouted, "Let's go!" And we ran. I swear I could hear footsteps following, perfectly synchronized with ours, but when I looked back, he was still there, not moving, just staring. We burst out of the basement and didn't stop running until we were back in the street. I've never felt fear like that. Not real fear. Not a jump scare. Just being watched by something impossible. We're never going back. We didn't even upload the footage. Some things shouldn't be documented. If anyone knows anything about the Grand Riviera Hotel, or has seen tunnels like this in other abandoned buildings, please, I don't want to be alone in thinking this is real. Update posted by user Urban Horrors YouTube. I didn't think it could get worse after the tunnel, but I was wrong. The next morning, I went to grab coffee near my apartment. Just a normal street, normal people, normal life. Until I saw him. Standing across the street. Bellhop uniform. Hands clasped. Head tilted slightly. Not moving. Just watching. I froze. For a second, I thought I was seeing things. But then my friend Matt called me. "Dude. He's behind you, isn't he?" I didn't turn. I bolted. When I got back to my apartment, the door was slightly ajar. I live alone. We tried to shrug it off, telling ourselves it was a prank. Maybe some obsessive cosplayer. But then it started happening everywhere. At the grocery store, standing at the end of the aisle. On the subway, perfectly still, staring, then disappearing when I blinked. Outside my friend's apartment. He'd moved there after the hotel, just waiting on the stoop. And the tunnel footage. The weirdest part? On some frames of the video, his face isn't there when we recorded it, but in playback, he's closer in every shot. Sometimes right behind me, whispering, but when I look at the screen, it's just static. We stopped filming. We stopped exploring. We thought avoidance would help. But he doesn't need the hotel. He doesn't need a tunnel. Yesterday, I went to Matt's place. His apartment door was locked, but I heard the same soft hum from the tunnel, coming through the walls. He never answered my knocks. I'm staying in my apartment tonight. Windows locked. Lights on. But I hear it. The hum. Outside. Across the street. Growing closer. I don't know how long we have. I don't know if running will help. But I can see him now. At the corner of my street. Hands clasped. Head tilted slightly. Watching. Waiting. If anyone reading this has dealt with something like this, tell me what to do. Because tonight, I think he's coming inside. Second update posted by user Urban Horrors YouTube. I shouldn't have answered. I know that now. It started with a knock. 3 sharp knocks at my apartment door, just like in the hotel tunnel. The hum was louder, vibrating through the walls. I hesitated. And then I heard it. Come back. The rooms are ready. It was my voice. But wrong. Hollow. Like it had been recorded and played back underwater. Matt and I looked at each other. We knew we couldn't stay. And somehow, we couldn't resist. We drove back to the Grand Riviera Hotel. The streets were empty. The air was unnaturally still. And the hotel. It looked alive. Lights in the windows, chandeliers sparkling, freshly polished marble. Not abandoned. Not even old. Perfectly pristine. We walked inside. The lobby smelled of roses and wax polish. The bellhop was there, waiting, perfectly still, hands clasped. "Welcome back," he said. We tried to leave. The doors wouldn't open. Every corridor led deeper inside, twisting in ways that made no sense. We recognized the hotel, but it wasn't the same. Every step we took, the wallpaper changed. Every room was rearranged. Some rooms had us in them. Sleeping. In our clothes from the day we first explored the basement. Then he guided us. Not with words, but with presence. Every time we tried to look away, he was just at the end of the hall, waiting. We entered a ballroom. It was empty. Silent. But as soon as we stepped inside, the doors slammed shut. The hum became voices. Hundreds of voices whispering our names. "This is your room now," he said, and pointed to a staircase that hadn't been there before. We climbed. Each step felt like walking through water. The attic, the tunnel, it was all connected now. We understood. He didn't need to attack us. He didn't have to move. The hotel itself was him. It was alive. Waiting. Inviting. Trapping. And the last thing I remember before everything went black? Looking at my reflection in the polished elevator door. And seeing him. In my clothes. Smiling. Hands clasped. Head tilted slightly. 3 months later, a new post was added to the thread by user Hidden Paths Explorer. Hey everyone. I'm usually just a lurker here, but I need to get this off my chest before I lose my mind. I stumbled across the Grand Riviera Hotel while doing a road trip through the countryside. Locals called it abandoned. Nothing on the maps. Perfect spot for some photos. I didn't know about its history. I didn't know about the YouTube crew that vanished years ago. I just thought it was a creepy, old building. The exterior looked normal, decayed, broken windows, graffiti. But the doors were unlocked. Inside, the lobby was pristine. Chandeliers gleamed. The marble shone like it had just been polished. There was no dust. No debris. And then I saw him. Bellhop uniform. Hands clasped. Head tilted slightly. Waiting at the end of the hall. I froze. He didn't move. He didn't blink. But I knew. I knew exactly what was going to happen. I turned to leave, but the lobby stretched longer than it should have. Doors I'd walked past now led to rooms I'd never seen. Mirrors reflected spaces that didn't exist. And then I saw them. In one of the rooms, the YouTube crew. Sitting in armchairs, perfectly still, staring straight ahead. Their clothes, ours? Maybe not. Maybe the hotel had already started taking us in. The bellhop stepped closer. No footsteps. Just presence. I ran. Out the back. Through the gardens. But even now, I can hear it humming. That soft, synchronized hum that calls your name. I don't know if it's the hotel reaching for me or if it's already inside me. If anyone ever finds this hotel, don't go inside. Not for photos. Not for exploration. Not even curiosity. Because it's still waiting. And it always will be. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe for more Rogue Nightmares videos.